What's up, Totem Pole Nation? This is Lambo and Matt's World of Sports. This is another installment of the Recruiting Trail, episode 25 to be exact. We're getting into the Virginia Cavaliers recruiting class today. We're keeping bias out of it. If you've watched any of these, you know both of us are Virginia Tech fans. I'm a Virginia Tech student, but we're keeping bias out of it today. We're just bringing you the facts. All right, like, comment, subscribe as always. And if you want to support the boys, if you want to get some merch, the link is in the ticker. It's totempolenation.com. You can go there and get whatever you need. Without further ado, let's get into it.
It is before you start. I'm sorry. Virginia Tech is ranked 72 in the recruiting as of
UVA.
I'm sorry. UVA. I want to make sure I'm correct. UVA is ranked number 72 in recruiting. They only have 12 commits. They have 0 5-stars, 0 4-stars, and 12 3-stars. And please go ahead and continue.
Yeah. All right. So like you said, it's 72nd on some sites. It's 71st on 24/7. Either way, not where you want to be. They're pretty thin at every position looking at their depth chart. Anthony Colandrea, who's the freshman quarterback that, he's looked good in some games, and then he also turns the ball over in others. He'll most likely be the starting quarterback next year as a true sophomore, and he'll have a junior behind him. So his youth gives UVA a little bit of breathing room when it comes to recruiting QBs, but he's going to have to capitalize on that upside that you've seen in him as an athlete, as a thrower of the ball. But he's got to capitalize on that and hopefully get rid of some of those stupid turnovers that we've seen him do. UVA is losing their top wide receiver in Malik Washington. He'll be gone. He's already north of 1,000 receiving yards this year, but the receiving room behind him is pretty young as a whole. The top 3 running backs are seniors, and I'm pretty sure most of them came through the transfer portal. They have a few more running backs on the roster, so we'll see if they hit the portal again for more running backs. But the guys that are on the depth chart, like the first 4 guys, are all going to be gone. So it's either, staying in-house and bringing up guys that didn't touch the field at all this year, or going back to the portal like they did this past offseason. They have 1 tight end on the depth chart that's returning. The defense is split of youth and experience, but it's also thin at most positions. Getting into their top 5 guys, which, some of these schools we've been doing, it's been a lot of 5 stars. This is the 71st ranked class, so let's not get too excited here. This is a sweet picture, though. John Rogers, he's a 3-star tight end, 6'4", 210 from Episcopal High School in Alexandria, Virginia. He's the 44th ranked tight end in the country and the 13th ranked player in Virginia. He also plays baseball, and he jumps in track and field. So I don't know how much baseball skills would really translate, but when it comes to jumping in track and field, most guys that are good in that also play football, they can translate that explosiveness from one sport to the other. That's, things are looking good when that's the case with your tight end. Next up is Keyshawn Adams from Connecticut, 3-star safety. He's 6 feet tall, 190, Avon Old Farm School in Avon, Connecticut. He's the 128th safety and the 8th ranked player in the state of Connecticut. Not much was written up on him. His huddle was supposed to be like a lot of highlights, and there are some good plays on there, but, it's not a guy that I think is going to be making an immediate impact. That's obviously surface level. Next guy on the list here is Benjamin York. He's a 3-star tackle, 6'5", 286, big boy from Lake Braddock High School in Burke, Virginia. He's the 93rd tackle in the country and the 30th ranked player out of Virginia. Next up is Kayvon Gray, another sweet picture here, 3-star cornerback, 5'11 and a half. That's what I like to call myself as well. 165, pretty close to what I am as well. So this guy's going to have to get a little bit bigger, because if I saw myself on a Power 5 D1 football field. I don't know if I'm trusting myself to get hit. So, you know, a little bit more muscle on this guy, and I think he'll be all right. 111th ranked cornerback in the country and the 132nd ranked player in Georgia. This was a guy that UVA had to battle with Florida State to get him to commit, and, you know, they got him. So that's at least a win for this recruiting class. Rounding out their top fives is a 3-star edge, Tyler Simmons, 6'4", 260 from Windermere Prep in Windermere, Florida. 128th D lineman, 150th ranked player in Florida. He's a great thrower when it comes to track and field. But that's what I have from their top five. So they only have 3 commits from Virginia. And if you've watched any of these videos before, you know I like to emphasize the footprint and in-state commits. When it comes to UVA, you know, Virginia's pretty top-heavy. Once you get outside of the top 13-ish, the quality starts to go down pretty far, which luckily, you know, they got John at the tight end spot at the 13th area. So, I mean, that's a cool grab to have. But if that's your only, you know, like good commit really from the state, it's not going to look well as a whole. You're going to have to rely too much on the transfer portal. And with the current state of UVA, you're obviously not going to be getting the top transfers either. You know, they have, like I mentioned, John and Ben. And then they also have Ethan Minter. He's a 3-star athlete, 6'1", 190 from Thomas Dale in Chester, Virginia. My old high school's rival back in the day, even though they beat us 3 of the 4 years I was there. 210th ranked athlete in the country, 45th ranked player from Virginia. He will most likely be playing quarterback, so we'll have to see how he progresses. They're adding 3 O linemen and 2 D linemen. It's always good, you know, to strengthen the trenches on both sides. But as I mentioned, they're going to need to hammer the transfer portal again this year at multiple positions if they want the progress that, you know, is expected with Tony Elliot coming in here from Clemson. It was supposed to be, you know, up, and it's kind of been, you know, a plateau of mediocrity. You know, this year it was a good win to get over UNC and everything like that, but as a whole, like, you can't be happy with this season, and you can't really be happy with this recruiting class either. So we'll see. That's all I've got on the UVA recruiting class, episode 25 of the Recruiting Trail. Any thoughts from you?
I wish there was more to say. You mentioned Ethan Minter from Thomas Dale. Yes, as far as LC Bird, it was hard to really stop the guy. I mean, we contained him, but he's a very good quarterback, obviously. I think he'll make some of an impact next season, but it's very tough, especially this past season, not this past last year, where everybody hits the transfer portal. So, yes, Tony Elliott is really trying to rebuild this team from, like, bottom rock to the Great Wall of China, which they're trying to do. They're not the Great Wall of China yet, but the Great Wall of China wasn't built in one day. So I'm just concerned as far as not only the roster, but how patient is the UVA AD going to wait for Tony Elliott to build the roster? Because, you know, college football is very, very weird when it comes to these coaches. Are they going to give them a Matt Rule, Scott Frost type contract in Nebraska where you give a coach 5 to 6 years to rebuild, but they expect these coaches to rebuild in like 2 to 3, 4 years, which Tony Elliott's been there for about 3 years, 2 years, somewhere around there. I don't know the exact number, but my concern is, I think he's a great coach, but are they going to let him rebuild for 6 years? I mean, that's about all I can say.
If you just stack up 6 years of the 70th ranked class, then you didn't do much rebuilding. So it's, you know, it's going to be up to him to kind of, you know, determine his own destiny when it comes to job security, because if he continues to recruit like he has this year and the year before, I don't see why they would let him, you know, stay too long. Especially
the school shooting that happened last year, the players getting shot. I feel
that's not on him. That's not on him.
Well, no. I'm not saying it's on him. I'm just talking about the safety of the players and the, you know, just the people in general. That's why I'm just talking about that.
I think that's a freak thing that's unfortunate for. I mean, Virginia Tech 2007, 32 people got killed here. So, it's that's just an unfortunate thing that doesn't have, anything to do with recruiting, I don't think.
It could. We're not there. I'm just saying. It's just I'm just talking about the safety.
Yeah, but that stuff, I mean, that's just an issue that goes on literally everywhere in the country. That's not exclusive to UVA.
Yeah,
that's literally, you're on a college campus. That's a threat pretty much everywhere. So that's a sad reality about America today, but I don't think that has anything to do with football recruiting.
Well, I mean, we're not inside the scenes. We're just giving you the inside source. Next episode 26, would be Louisville Cardinals. They have shocked the world of college football. The first-year head coach and Jeff Brom, who came from Purdue and is now back his alma mater. And they're destroying everybody. They're 7-1 right now. They only lost one game, which was a bad game against Pittsburgh. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Lambeau and Massboro Sports. Need a merch? Go to TotemPoleNation.com. And we'll see you in the next 5 minutes for the next episode of Recruiting Trail, episode 26 of the Louisville Cardinals. Y'all have a great night.